Hey everyone, welcome back. For those of you who are new to this channel, please subscribe for more recipe videos. So today we will be making an Oreo Surprised Cupcakes. I hope you enjoy it. So these are the ingredients that we will need in order to make the cupcake base. I will also go over how to make the buttercream later in this video. So as for ingredients, we have some water, butter, milk, 2 eggs, some sugar. It will be granulated sugar, and in the big bowl I have all-purpose flour, baking powder, cocoa powder, salt, and some Oreos, of course. So in a clean bowl with the paddle attachment, I am going to put in some room temperature butter along with the sugar, and I'm going to cream it for about 3 to 5 minutes or until it's nice and fluffy. So after about 3 to 4 minutes or so, the butter will start looking really fluffy and it turned white. So that's when you know that you can proceed to the next step. But before doing that, I like to scrape down the sides and make sure all the butter are nice and well beaten. And then we are going to add in the eggs. Make sure the eggs are in room temperature also, and just add it one by one. Once the first egg has been incorporated, then go ahead and add the other one. Right here I'm using medium-sized eggs, but if you are using large, then make sure that you only add in 1.5 eggs. So after the last egg has been added in, let it turn and mix for another 20 to 30 seconds or so, and then you can proceed to the next step and scrape down the sides. That's just my little thing that I like to do along when I'm making the batter. And then you can add in some vanilla extract. Right here I add in about half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. It's up to you. So after the vanilla extract has been added in, I stopped the mixer, but you can totally do this in whatever steps you want. Basically, I'm going to add in the dry ingredients. So I'm going to add in half of the dry ingredients we have in that little bowl earlier. I'm going to sift it in and sift half of that in, and then put the mixer back on to mix it, and then add the liquids and then put the rest of the flours in. Or you can sift it ahead of time and just keep the beaters on and just add it in. Whatever you want, doesn't really matter. And go ahead and mix that in using the lowest setting your mixer has. So I'm right here, I think I'm using like a setting 2 or something, but the lowest setting, because you don't want your face to be covered in flour. So after the flour has been added in, I am going to add in the milk. And just turn the mixer back on and let it go until the milk is all gone. But you don't want to overmix, or else your cake will be dense and cookie-like, and that's not what you want for a cupcake. Okay, so don't panic if your cupcake batter looks a little separated. It's okay. After you add in that last half of the flour, it will mix nicely. One thing I like to do is to always mix my flours, or like sift my flours beforehand, because you see all that clumps on the bottom of the sift. That's what you don't want to be in your batter. You don't want people to be munching on your cupcakes or cookies and they like chew on a big chunk of raw flour. That is not something what we want either. Okay, final step. We are going to add in the hot water and just let that mix. The batter will thicken up as it mixes. It might look really loose right now, but don't worry, it will be a nice cupcake batter later. So once the batter looks nice and smooth, then you can stop the mixer and we're all done with the cupcake mix. So with the lined cupcake pan, pipe a dollop of the cupcake batter onto the bottom. I prefer putting it in a bag because it's less messy and it's a lot easier to handle and control how much batter you want to add in, but feel free to use a cookie scooper or a spoon. So basically, after you have that bottom layer of the cake in, you can push in a cookie. You can use any cookie here, but I feel like Oreos are the best to put in between of a cupcake. So go ahead and do that. After all the cupcakes are filled with an Oreo cookie, then you can top it off with another layer of cupcake batter, and then you're done. You can pop that baby into the oven and bake it, and you will have a nice and yummy cupcake. So top that off with a little bit more batter. So I end up having a little bit more batter left after I did that 9 cupcakes, so I end up making 10 instead. So if you want to make these cupcakes a little bit smaller, you can totally make a dozen out of it. So you want to bake these in a preheated 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they are cooked. So I like to give it a little good tap on the bottom to make sure that everything sinks into the bottom and the bottom is not hollow. After they are done baking, pull them out and put them on a cooling rack. And while we're waiting for them to cool down, we can go ahead and make the buttercream. For the buttercream, I'm first gonna make like a flour paste. Using the ingredients will be in the description box. So basically you take that half teaspoon of flour and add in 1/8 of a cup of water, mix it in and microwave it for 20 seconds. Pull it out, stir it around and microwave it for another 15 seconds until it's cooked. It will become like a loose paste, and then we can add it into our buttercream. It will make it a lot less sweeter and a lot more yummier and creamier for our buttercream. So once it's done, just set it aside and let it cool. So right here I have room temperature butter again and some salt and a little bit of powdered sugar. So I'm just going to mix it in with my mixer a little bit until the powdered sugar is worked into the butter, because it happened to me one time. I was covered in powdered sugar and it was not pretty. So basically after it's mixed in, I'm going to put back my attachment to the mixer and then just start beating it until the butter and sugar mixture is nice and creamy, and then I am going to proceed to the next step. So after about 5 minutes or so, the butter has been whipped nicely. It turned white again and it got really fluffy. I am going to add in a little bit of vanilla extract, mix that in, and then I am going to add in our little flour paste that we made earlier. We have our cooled flour paste and our whipped butter. Just add both of them together and then turn on your beater, mix it for another minute or so, and then you will have the best buttercream you have ever had in this world. No kidding, because some of the buttercream I had in the past, it was just too oily and I didn't really like the taste of it. This suits my palate. If you try it and you like it, please let me know. So after that, we can add in a crushed Oreo. I just basically crush 1 Oreo and add into our buttercream. And there you have it, cookies and cream buttercream. Know why I'm a little crazy and I sometimes just have to do voiceovers because I talk to myself a lot. So put the buttercream in a piping bag and pipe away. Basically you can do any designs you want. I'm just doing a classic swirl here, but you can do whatever you wish. Here I'm just showing you again on how I pipe it. It's really easy. Basically you just put a dollop and then you go around a circle and then you gently lift away. So I'm going to continue finishing these and top them with a piece of Oreo so they look nice and cute. Hey guys! Please excuse how I look right now, because we just made some cupcakes and we spent a lot of effort trying to make them all look pretty and stuff. So I'm going to try them and tell you how it looks like inside. So I cut it open already, so if you can see, there should be a cookie And the cupcakes should be sandwiched in between with a yummy Oreo and cream frosting. Okay, let's try this. How do you guys like my Hello Kitty plate? Okay, I am going to take a bite, okay? Mmm. It is so yummy. Don't talk to me. If you're a fan of chocolate and Oreo, you're gonna love this. I don't know what else to say, but you have to try it out. I think it will go well with a little bit of milk on the side too. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go get a glass of milk and I'm gonna finish this. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!